Hello and welcome. Today I thought we could do this one that I started a little while ago with a more traditional brush. Just me kind of trying it out. It's a lot different to usual. Usually I do not use a texture brush, but see how it goes. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I thought so. I had my pen pressure settings not quite right. That's better. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's kind of a painting of a skeletal knight that is guarding some kind of doorway to a building. Yeah, it's all painted in this brush, so it's very early beginnings right now. I don't know how much painting this is, maybe half an hour's worth. We'll just carry on. I'm trying to do it. I'll be going over a lot of stuff again, but I'm trying to start off by doing it kind of alla prima. And this brush head as well, it also has tilt, so you know, um, I can control it quite well with the pen, actually, surprisingly well. So I'm just going by feel here. I'm not thinking too much even about the light sources, but there is a candle here, so that's our main source of light. So maybe just going to warm up the side like that. Want this to sort of be a function of whatever's facing forwards. Want this to be a bit bluer and a bit brighter. Let's get some more saturation in here. And that's what this could probably do with. It's a bit orange, right? I think these areas in the cold, I think the sky should actually get to have a little bit of a say in what happens in these areas where it's going to be, just slightly tinted by the sky. You can already see it like that on that shoulder there. Just haven't really spread it across the piece like I should have. I don't want to cover that highlight too much. It's a nice highlight. Yeah, it feels nice. It does feel nice painting with this brush. I did wonder if perhaps I should use some kind of software that's more dedicated to realistic brushes when I'm painting like this. I want it to look a bit more like an actual painting, an oil painting sort of thing. But we'll see. If I can get Krista to form that function for me, then I'll be happy. I feel like there's a bit of a discrepancy between his shoulder pads. This one should be lifted up. I think this decorative line has mistakenly become the bottom of his shoulder armor, so we're gonna keep forgetting that the brush has tilt on this brush tool. Okay, so his shoulder's a bit more even now. You see, this one drops down straight there, but this one sort of has these layers as well. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna make it a bit more like the other arm. A bit like that. And I like this. It's kind of what's it called? Fresnel effect on the outside. Don't want to take this brush too small. See, I did kind of a highlight on the edge of this little shape here on his leg, but here where it's more rounded, we're going to want something that's just a little bit softer. This brush also has the ability to blend, which is quite nice. Kind of get a mix of the textures. make things just a bit softer after I painted them in. So we're just slowly building him, like I say. It's sort of the Alla Prima method, so try to start things as we intend to leave them finished, but of course never get to that perfect that's the philosophy of Alla Prima, right? You're kind of aiming for your first brush strokes to be your last, but we're all human, so you do end up coming back, and that also has to be built into the process that you use. I'll grab some of this dark background and just paste it there to give this arm something to play off of. Think of a background so I can actually paint it and see what's going on. Yeah, that has helped a little. Yeah, so we want that sort of shape. See how they both kind of match each other with that way they sort of bump in like that, you see? Right there. Like a dented shape almost in the armor. We haven't even... I think we've mixed one or two colours so far. Probably want to mix a few more if we want to keep it the nice, unique colour palette. And we'll be doing a lot of work on this armor to get it to really genuinely look shiny. So we'll probably, at points, add in some. I don't know, they should be that sharp, but we'll make it look nice and shiny. We'll figure it out. I think it should be a little bit more subtle for these highlights, but we've already done a few of them on this chest panel. You can see there's some really actually quite interesting little patterns that I've chosen to go with there. I always just end up painting so many reflective things. I feel like for me it's kind of backwards. A lot of people, their default, what they paint is all render anyway. It's matte surfaces, and then you slowly learn to paint reflective ones. But I feel like I just go completely backwards, and it almost feels like reflective surfaces are natural to me, and slowly learn to paint things that are matte. And there is some logic to that, I feel like. Rendering that bit of wall behind his arm so that see what the values are going to be like. Still want to sort of go from big to small, even if we're doing it mostly alla prima. Like I said, it's just a goal to work towards, really. Alla prima is, it's like a perfect triangle, you know. It doesn't really exist, but you can try and get things to attempt to render it nonetheless. And really nice that chest plate is, and all these really soupy reflections. Exactly what I'm going for in this painting. I think I might put little skulls in his knees. See that everywhere in armor. Really nice little convention. It's obviously just a small little map at the moment. On this knee you can see it's not really fully rendered. It's something that exists there. Like the blueness at the top. So. I think that this shoulder pad here is it's actually turned out quite nicely, especially how organic the the shape of that is. It's a bit like muscles, and I like that for the armor. So I might make that a bit of a template material for the rest of the armor going forward. So I'll be trying to get the rest of the armor and the breastplates and stuff all to match that. It's always that way. I get like a little one part of the painting that I really like, and then I'll try to, by using contrast, compare it. I'll try to make everything look like that, into that style. But at the start of the painting, it's kind of like I'm trying out different things all over the painting, and there's no congruency. So then you find a little bit that I like, and I spread the area out of it, and make it all more congruent with that part of the painting as a base. That's a big part of painting from imagination, particularly. These are quite complex shapes, so it might be really hard to pull these off actually. Get them to actually be a nice more mathematical shape. Yeah, they look really messy there like that. We can rub out the bits that we ended up not liking as much. Get it looking more, more and more precise, more and more accurate. Trying to just do the little dents going inwards. I'm sort of sculpting it together, but not there yet for sure. There you go. We got there. Woo! That's the sort of stuff that you really you have to sort of wade through it, not knowing what it really looks like, and just going off your instincts for a little while, and then eventually it sort of will pop into reality, and you'll find you're searching through a couple of patterns to see which one works, and eventually, as you've seen, then you get a pattern that you like, and you know that you like the pattern because when you zoom out it'll look right. It will be readable in 3D, whereas before it was kind of like gibberish or saying the wrong thing. And this isn't saying the right thing yet, but I can read it in 3D and it's close enough that I can panel beat it into shape, if that makes sense. I can modify it. Instead of trying to sculpt something into existence, I'm modifying something that already exists now on this this particular item in the composition. So yeah, I love it. Kind of works with these sort of click moments as well. Just want some of this blue paint up here. I feel like it might just. Here's where the being on a computer is it's very forgiving and helpful sometimes. Just want the scale of it to be probably quite a lot bigger actually. Something more like that. Grab the other one as well and do the same, why not? Even though it's very incomplete. There you go. I don't really... Almost a bit more like that. I don't really know what these things are, to be honest. I need to study armor a bit more, but I have seen them on armor. So I'm just sort of doing what I have seen in other places, honestly. I think they're to protect, like, there can be a gap in the armor, like in your armpit area. Because obviously the armor needs you to be able to lift your arms up. So I think they're just covering that gap. Similarly, you get like a little thing here to kind of cover a similar gap as well on people's arms often. Or I think it actually comes from the middle and goes back like that. If that makes sense. Maybe he'll end up with some of them. It would fit in with the other armor, so maybe we'll try and paint that too. I really like his armor because I feel like it looks like a skull as well. I don't know how I got that. It was intentional, but it just came out nicer than I thought it would. This bit being kind of the nose, that familiar sort of triangle shape, and then this would be the tooth column. You can see I put a dent here as well, which is like his abs, but it also, I feel like, is kind of reminiscent of this dent here, where the tooth column goes round, and then it's the back of the jaw. I feel like I really kind of got that similar effect here on the armor so far. It's looking quite nice from afar. It's coming on really nicely, better than I was sort of expecting when I hopped on this morning. Today's stream is also much nicer quality than ever before. Excuse me. Yeah, new camera, much high quality. And a new keyboard. I can press the keys as well. Hopefully, I haven't really tested it out yet, but I think I can press the keys as much as I want without it coming through on the camera, pretty much, more or less. I got brown keys. But yeah, back to the painting. Anyway, we're just doing the forearm piece of armor now. Trying to blend that in a bit there. Trying to get it to be a similar look to what's above it. It's the only goal. Also trying to do something with it that looks a bit unique. Breaking the rules. You want to break the rules on everything just a tiny bit sometimes. That's how you make every part of the image look interesting. Otherwise, all of the image is a bit formulaic. 1 second, let me adjust something. Sorry, I've just put this pop filter on my mic. Mainly so I'm not spitting all over it. Needed some adjusting. Hopefully, it's not making a... Yeah, when I used to breathe out through my nose, it would make like a wind sound. You'd have the keyboard clunking, me breathing into the mic, and, you know, the low quality camera before. Fixed all that, you know, in a day. And I'm trying out new music too. I might go with different music. Still using the YouTube library, but we're also using another one. So yeah, lots of nice upgrades, and we're going to keep those upgrades going. They are indeed. See these streams getting better and better, and hopefully by the time people are watching them, they're a bit higher quality. Well, I think they're reaching some nice quality now. Just getting that regularity, and I think also see this shape we're trying to get ourselves in. I think more than that, it's what was I saying? Yeah, just getting the regularity. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the length. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, the length of the streams, getting them back to 3 hours. This one's just going to be probably a half an hour or a 1 hour stream today. I'm just excited today to test out, you know, all the new stuff that I've got going on for my stream. Hopefully tomorrow we can do a full 3 hour one. Today's just to shake the rust off day. So it's our only aim. This should be a bit pricey. Can also when I don't use this very much, have that be a full view of the image instead of a color palette. I feel like it's a bit small anyway, so whatever. It's nice that you can kind of have the size of this brush change by the angle that you choose to put the pen at. Though it does mean moving my arm around a lot more. I'm a bit of a lazy painter normally. I think I just need to make the brushes smaller for that one. I can't quite angle my hand enough. Something like that, isn't it? Kind of like brass armor, isn't it? Really looks like polished brass. Hand's obviously going to be a bit of a difficult part. Trick is, I think, to not let the hand's details be smaller, or be more, to not let it be more detailed than the rest of the piece, because that's make it contrast in a bad way. I don't know how his hand's going to look on this sword yet. Just going to be a blob for now, really. But I don't know, in what way the sword handle itself is going to be visible. So it's probably going to be a bit more chrome-ish. You've seen I sometimes start chrome with literally like the colour black. Yeah, the values to make the sword with as well, they're going to be somewhat difficult to figure out. But, it'll only take a couple tries, I'm sure, and we'll get the right value. The thing about painting organically like this, you'll get put off, when the first attempt on something isn't perfect. But the whole point is, when you're doing it from imagination, particularly, you've got to use trial and error. Gotta use the malleability. That's why digital's so good for painting from imagination. I would say it's just so much better than anything that traditional does when it comes to animation. That's why I really like to do traditional from reference and digital from imagination, because I feel like that's just a perfect split. You can do from imagination, you can still do it quite easily from traditional, but there is stipulations. And instead of overwriting like we can in these illustrations, we paint over the same brushstroke again and again and again. Instead of that, what you have to do to get a similar effect or thing going on is rub it out, which you obviously can't always do, or iterations. So you do the same painting a couple of times, right? You try a couple of preliminaries. For example, that's way more important in traditional than it is in digital, where in digital you can just go straight in. I like to use preliminaries. You don't need them like you need them in traditional. Swords are quite a perspective as well. That's what makes it also kind of difficult to render along with being the only chrome thing in the image. I think the armor's a little bit easier, in fact, because it's more like a brass. Or maybe it's just because I've already kind of worked it out. I'll work the sword out eventually. It's easier to grow something that you've already got a nice foothold and starting on. Much easier than when you're first starting out with things, anyway. On this leg, it looks quite good as well. I think that genuinely looks like the shape that I'm going for, where it's kind of like bumping out like that, you see. Got just the right shape on there. And then I'll probably transfer that over to here, down to there. That same pattern of this lighter blue, then this kind of ochre right here, a little bit darker, highlight right there. I'll copy this same pattern, this band of of changing values is exactly the same, and I'll be using that same or similar. I'll be changing it up depending on where things are, of course, but I'll be using that similar band progression. A bit like a barcode is how I'm thinking of it. I don't know what we're going to do for this this path yet, but well, it's going to be nice and dark over here, where it's kind of still like leaning against the wall. Something like that. All right. Well, yeah, we'll call that a 30-minute stream. Why not? Like I say, just checking the rust stuff. So I'll probably be, well, I'll almost definitely be on tomorrow. And I'll try and do a longer stream. And I'll try and do Magma as well. So we can paint with some other artists, because I've been really enjoying that. And I genuinely think I'm going to kind of go down that route with Laugh Arts. I'm going to really explore this kind of online co-op painting. So join me while I explore that. I'll be on tomorrow.